Women pirates. At a time when women were expected to behave obediently and calmly, there were women who broke traditions and made their presence felt in a man's world. These women, who had to dress in men's clothing, fight, and embark on adventures until their gender was revealed due to pregnancy, are among the most interesting characters in history. There is quite limited writing about female pirates. However, it might be interesting to look at the stories of some significant figures who made their mark in history. Anne Bonny, also known as the Pirate Benjamin, is the most famous female pirate recognized for her toughness and fury. Born in Ireland between 1697 and 1700 as the illegitimate child of a lawyer, Anne fell in love with Captain James Bonny at the age of 16. Despite being the sole heir to a substantial inheritance, she secretly married James in pursuit of adventure and excitement. They moved to New Providence, known at the time as the Pirate Paradise. However, when her husband gave up piracy to become an informer for the governor, and saw him as a traitor and decided to escape with Calico Jack, Captain Jack Rackham. Disguised in men's clothing, she secretly boarded the ship. Anne fought with such skill using a pistol and sword that no one questioned her, until she became pregnant. The couple thought that having a child was not ideal for a pirate ship, so they went to Cuba. However, after losing their children, Anne and Jack returned to piracy. Interestingly, Anne was not the only woman on Jack's ship. Mary Read, who disguised herself as a man, was also with them. The two quickly became close friends and turned into a nightmare for the crew. Their piracy ended in 1720 when Jamaican Governor Laws sent soldiers to seize the ship. Jack and the crew were caught unprepared. The two women, who continued to fight until the last moment, were sentenced to death along with the rest of the crew. However, their executions were postponed due to their pregnancies. While Mary Read died in prison from a fever, the fate of Anne Bonny remains uncertain. There are many different stories about Mary Read's childhood. It is suggested that she was the child of a captain in London and was raised by her mother to replace her deceased brother at sea. Another story indicates that her mother wanted to raise Mary as a boy. Regardless of the details, it is certain that Mary grew up as a boy and worked on a ship in her youth. Unsatisfied with the excitement she sought, Mary enlisted as a simple soldier. She was promoted to the cavalry regiment for her bravery shown in the Flanders War. When she found love, she revealed her true identity and left the army. Shortly after, when her husband died, she returned to a male life. When Calico Jack and Anne Bonny attacked the ship where Mary was, she became friends with Anne. She died in prison in 1720. Grace O'Malley was born into Gaelic aristocracy in Ireland in the 1530s. While the English regarded her as a dangerous rebel, her supporters viewed her as a fearless and cunning leader. Growing up with a love of the sea, Grace obtained permission from her father to set sail dressed as a man. After marrying the heir of the O'Flaherty clan at the age of 16, she reclaimed the castle after her husband died defending Cork Castle. She began to collect tribute for safe passage along the west coast. Captured in 1586, Grace wrote a petition to Queen Elizabeth I for forgiveness and commanded a fleet in her 70s. She is believed to have died at Rockfleet Castle in 1603. Chinese female pirate Cheng I Sao was born in southern China in the late 18th century. Starting her career on a flower ship, Cheng made a good marriage and came to own a pirate fleet. This woman, who commanded 400 Chinese junks and 50,000 crew members, possessed the largest pirate force in history. She is known to have died in 1844. Fanny Campbell was a female pirate who lived in the 19th century and operated particularly in Colombia and the Caribbean. Disguising herself as a man, she joined the ranks of pirates and became known for her bravery. It is known that she worked with 30 different pirates. Charlotte de Berry was an English female pirate who lived in the 17th century. According to her autobiography, she sailed the seas around the world and experienced many adventures. Her stories are filled with piracy and naval battles. Jeanne de Clisson was a French female pirate who lived in the 14th century. After her husband was executed due to a political conflict in France, Jeanne decided to become a pirate to take revenge. She began to pursue a horrific vengeance and became known as the Black Knight. And Dieu-le-Veut was a female pirate born in France in the 17th century. She joined sea voyages at a young age and later turned to piracy. Known for her warrior spirit and bravery, Anne often earned respect by proving herself among men. Giulia Tofana was a poison seller born in Italy in the 17th century. Although not known as a pirate, she went down in history as a brave and cunning woman. With her own poisons, she helped women who wanted to escape from their marriages. Chinese female pirate Ching Shih, like Cheng I Sao, was an influential pirate leader in the 19th century. She commanded a fleet of 400 ships and ended piracy by making agreements with the government. She also imposed very strict rules on herself and her crew. These women broke the dominance of men in the world of piracy and left their mark throughout history. Each of them holds an important place in history with their courage, leadership qualities, and adventures.